Hello and welcome to Punk Science TV. My name is Dr. Manjir and let's get right to it. So today we're going to be talking about cryovolcanism, and you've probably heard about volcanoes, which are these hot eruptions that happen on planet Earth. So what are cryovolcanoes? So cryovolcanoes are actually extremely cold. So, how is it that volcanoes can be cold? Because we're taught that they are these, hot molten rocks, and they are hot lava that erupt out from the center of the planet, which is supposedly molten as well. So, why is it that we have been seeing things such as over the planet Ceres? Where we didn't expect to see anything at all. We thought Ceres was going to be just a just a lump of rock, basically, that it wasn't going to be active at all. But instead, we found these cold volcanoes, these cryovolcanoes on Ceres, as well as on Titan, which is one of the moons of Saturn, and also on Pluto. Now, Pluto is really far out from the sun, and so we expected this to be extremely cold, extremely frozen, and not to be that active. But there are actually these volcanoes, this volcanic activity on Pluto, which was a bit of a surprise. So we think we know how volcanoes work on planet Earth. But actually, if you look closely, we'll see that people who study these things, volcanologists and seismologists and people, actually don't really know exactly why volcanoes happen. So, as you can see in this article, which is in Geographic magazine, we don't even understand many of the basics, and we're largely in the dark. So, it's a bit of a red herring to say that we know exactly why volcanoes happen, let alone cryovolcanoes. So, what I'm saying is that eruptions, volcanoes are all expression of the same principle, the black hole principle. So, if you remember, the black hole principle says that actually there's light that comes in from higher dimensions and then splits into matter and antimatter, and these then combine again to form light. So you have this continuous kind of eruptions and giving out of particles as well. But also, if you remember, we looked at in previous episodes of how the black hole principle creates water and can create what we normally call sort of fossil fuels, like methane and things like that. And that's indeed what we see coming out of these cryovolcanoes. We see methane, we see water, we see ammonia. And we do actually see water coming out of volcanoes on Earth as well. Even though they're so hot, we see mostly water vapor coming out of volcanoes. And if you remember in a previous episode, we looked at how stars actually emit water bullets as well. So this is what I'm putting forward, that what we have to do is transcend this concept of a volcanic eruption of stuff. The energy starts out actually in a different dimension, and the energy comes through and expresses itself at every single level of the universe. So whether that be a hot planet or a cold planet, the energy is the same, the principle is the same. So the black hole principle is creating volcanoes at every level that we see them. And there's these intermittent discharges of the things that we'd expect that to see now, coming from the black hole principle eruption. So cryovolcanism is to be expected, because all these planetary bodies, at the end of the day, they are working in the same way. So we not only expect to see more eruptions happening in our own solar system, but even beyond our solar system, because it is a universal principle. And so I hope that's explained a bit more about cryovolcanism and volcanism in general. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe to this Facebook or YouTube channel. And thank you very much for joining me and watching, and I shall see you next time. Thank you.